Good afternoon, Tobago. Good afternoon to Burgundians abroad. Good afternoon, by extension, to the entire country of Trinidad and Tobago and the global community that has been paying attention to our weekly briefings with regard to our response to the oil spill. Let me begin today. Today is International Women's Day. And so let me begin by, acknowledging all of the hard-working women in our society, especially those that make the Tobago House of Assembly work. And I thank you very much for your efforts today. And I trust that you won't just receive tokenism from your colleagues within the Tobago House of Assembly, but that you feel truly valued for the work that you put out. Today I am joined by the GIS specialist out of T.H.A, Mr. Mitchell, and today we want to go through with you all of the areas, and to do so using photography and other imagery to highlight our successes to date and also where our challenges lie to date. And so I will go right away to Mr. Mitchell, who will share with us an update via a graphical update rather. And so let's pay attention to what he has to say at this time. Mr. Mitchell?
All right, thank you very much, Chief. Thank you all for having me. I just want to say good afternoon. Like you said, happy International Women's Day. I would just like if they could just kindly put the presentation on screen so we'll just go through the areas of cross-contamination and how we have been progressing thus far. All right, thank you very much. So we'll start the report with the content. We're just going to do a brief overview as to where we were, the level of impact, and then a progress report. So the brief overview, the Operation Gulf Stream, the incident would have been triggered on the 7th of February 2024 by a capsizing vessel off the coast of Cove. What occurred, what we realized was approximately 12 kilometers of oil made its way towards the shore of Scarborough. And from there, we also identified an overturned vessel off the coast of Cove. The oil-like substance impacted approximately 15 kilometers of the shoreline that ranges from Scarborough to the Cove area. So that's inclusive of Lambo, lowlands, etc. The varied coastal features on the shoreline types influence the extent of the impact at which we would have seen along the coastline. So some areas may have been more contaminated than others. And finally, the ongoing cleanup efforts show significant changes in the impact levels, indicating that the efforts are in fact deemed as successful. So we'll just look at the areas that were grossly contaminated. So what we realized, the Scarborough waterfront was firstly contaminated, followed by the Lambo area, the Magdalena area, and the Cove area. Now what this map does is show the levels of contamination as of the 6th of March. However, these areas that were highlighted on the left were the areas that were very grossly contaminated, and those are the ones that have been circulating on social media, exasperating the situation at hand. So we'll start with the Scarborough area, and we just show the transition as to where it was as to where we are today. So the image on the left is dated the 8th of February 2024, and the image on the right is dated March 6, 2024. So a lot of work has been taking place within this area. We then moved to the Lambo area, the Signal Hill River Bridge, dated the 8th of February, and then dated March 6. So we can clearly see where the progression is being made as the teams continue to work tirelessly from approximately 6 in the morning straight to 6 in the evening. We'll go to the Bailey Bridge. Along the Bailey Bridge, this area was highly contaminated because of where it is. So we can see that it has clearly made a lot of improvement throughout the time. So dated once again, the 8th of February to March the 6th. So that is where we were and where we are right now. If you look at the image on the right, they are placing something called a boom, a containment boom. This is in an effort to ensure that no more oil-like substance makes its way up the stream of the river so that we can protect our environmentally sensitive areas. The Thompson River Bridge. Now this area was a very difficult area because it was very difficult to access. Slide back one, please. Thank you. So the Thompson River Bridge was an area that was very difficult to access because of where it is located. So it was very difficult for heavy machinery to reach this area. However, due to manual cleanup, they would have made a significant improvement within this area. This is a bridge that is located adjacent to Wassa as well. So some of the oil-like substance was actually making its way within proximity to Wassa. However, due to the assistance of the containment booms and the absorbent booms, it was stopped and contained and then extracted. We then moved to the Magdalena area. Now, the Magdalena area was an area that was very difficult to deal with as well. This area faced a lot of challenges as the tides would reach very high and the heavy machinery was unable to access it. Due to the sargassum being brought in recently, it would have made the cleanup efforts much easier for us because the sargassum would have pulled the oil-like substance, deposited it on the shore, and then made it much easier for extraction without having to damage the coastline in any tedious or strenuous manner. We then moved to where the vessel is in Cove. On the 7th of February, the vessel was emitting a lot of oil-like substance. Now the flows reach approximately 150 nautical miles northwest of Tobago. However, at this point in time, as you can clearly see from March the 6th, that flow has since been stopped and as such has been contained within the area. So basically where we are at this point in time, we are in a very good position. We are facing a lot of challenges at this point in time in some of the areas because of the shape or the features of the coastline. However, due to strategic planning, we are in fact making a lot of progress with these areas and they are continuing to be cleaned up. Some areas may be re-oiled because of the shoreline type or because of longshore drift or the other environmental factors such as high tide, low tide, as well as wind speed and wind energy. So these areas, sometimes you may see it clean today, and then tomorrow it might have a lot of deposition on the beach. But these are the areas that we are continuously extracting from and continuously working on. So thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell, and I'm sure you saw via the photographs the stark difference. The one major consideration for us continues to be weather, and so the Met Office, they will continue to send my office every 2 days the projections. We continue to pray for no rainfall, because excessive rainfall will provide a challenge for us. If excessive rainfall is predicted, we will let you know in advance what impact that will have, because it will mean the material that is now stuck on the riverbeds will more than likely wash outward and pollute once again the beaches that we have cleaned. But we continue to monitor that as we speak. Earlier today, I got an opportunity to do a tour by sea again. I haven't been out at sea in about 2 weeks. The biggest challenge I saw when I got out there today was in the area on the seaside along that old Milford Road, or we call Old Road, Lambo, the rock corners between the Signal Hill, or between Cemetery Street rather, all the way around to the Lambo Beach. That coastline, we still have quite a bit of stuff stuck in the crevices there in the rock corners, we call it. And so it's a very difficult area to access. And so we are currently working on what the strategy is to extract it from those areas, because ever so often the currents will shift them around west or eastward to repollute areas already clean. So we are making every effort to treat with that area in particular. Let me also indicate that the team is actively working on waste management and solidifying the waste management plan. There are 3 areas that we are looking at present. We're looking at incineration as one option. We're looking at bioremediation as a second option. And thirdly, we are looking at the possibilities of using this product in a responsible way outside of just essentially burning or throwing it away. So we're looking at a range of options where that is concerned. We also have to pay attention to the fact that we have NGC doing some sampling of the product for us, as we have stored up at the landfill in Stolly Park. That testing by NGC is to ensure that we have clear directives as to what's the best approach to treat with the waste, because we don't want, for example, to incinerate, and that leads to excessive toxicity within the air. So we will be looking at that and measuring that carefully before signing off on the final waste management plan. Just in case you are wondering, we still have T&T Salvage out there working, and their scope of work remains the same insofar as they are using the current busters or the no-fee system, but they are also responsible, secondly, to do the necessary surveillance, thirdly, to do hot tapping so that whatever is retained in the vessel can be removed, and fourthly, the ultimate salvaging of the wreck that's there. That's where T&T Salvage is at this very moment. We continue to work with all our partners, and we continue to thank all those that continue to contribute towards this effort. I should reiterate at this juncture that we continue to daily test the air quality, and you at home can help monitor the air quality. You can go onto, and I'm asking the technicians to do this on a fly, you can go to the EMA website. I'll perhaps WhatsApp you the link now. Go to the EMA website. When you go to the EMA website, you click on the link where you can look at air quality, and then you can look at Scarborough. And when you look at Scarborough, you are able to see the testing of air quality across the area that is affected, and you are able to look at all of the parameters by which EMA is testing the actual air quality. So you, from your home every single day, you can go to the T&T Air Quality Index, and you can look at the locality that is Scarborough specifically. And when you look at Scarborough specifically, you will be able to see whether the air quality is good or whether it's bad, and it continues to be good. We will share that link with you, and of course, when you go on that link, you can look at the dashboard. You can look at the dashboard. In fact, so you can look at the dashboard, right? So you can, they'll probably show it for you, right? You're being shown it at the moment. You can look at the dashboard, and you can actually check for different pollutants and see what the measurement will look like. So you come down to AQI dashboard. So go and click on AQI dashboard. All right, beautiful. So you see Scarborough area, and it is telling you at the moment that the quality is good, and you can click on the second tab. You're on just AQI at the moment. No, go across, right, perfect. Right, and you see the varying substances that are being tested for, and it will tell you whether it's good, moderate, or bad. So parents at home, you can monitor this yourself. This is real-time data for you. And for everyone else in Trinidad and Tobago, you can also monitor. And you can see not only our beaches safe for you to come and bathe, but you could drive through the area and take deep breaths and nothing will happen to you. The air quality is good. So you can do the checks yourself. And as I indicated, we are doing these checks daily so as to ensure the circumstances do not change. At this time, we'll take all the questions that you may have, including from journalists who are here in the room and those who are virtually logged on. So, wow, this is a first. Let me see if anybody online. Oh, Elizabeth Gonzalez.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
I just have about one question with regards to the disaster and another unrelated question. The first one is looking at where we are now in the disaster. Are we still at a as you said, operating at a tier 3 level, or have we downgraded?
Yes, we are at that same tier 3 level because we have to continue working with international partners to treat with this matter. We have T&T Salvage here. That's an American company. We have Kaizen here. Kaizen is a Canadian-based company. We still have the expert help from OSRL here. We are working with the recommendations of Petrobras here. That's from out of Brazil. And we have United Nations and other agencies who are here and who are also contributing to the efforts. So we continue to remain at the same tier level at this point. All right, so if no other question, or one more question, Elizabeth Williams.
Just an unrelated question with respect to the payment of contractors. I heard so much information about it, but I wanted to hear from you in terms of the outstanding monies owed to contractors. Any word on that? Because I heard that invoices are on the desk for someone to sign off.
Well, the last time I checked, I don't sign off on invoices. I don't sign off on checks.
But
No, I'm just making it clear. I don't sign off on checks. I did my part. My part was to make the allocation available and to make the releases available to the Division of Infrastructure. The execution of the instruction, that's on the public servants. And I don't want to use this as the platform for which to treat with the lethargic response to the matter. But I had some conversations with some accountants in the space, and I am pushing them as much as I can legally push them to ensure that the necessary payments are made very early next week. But true to my promise, I made available the funds on the date and time I said I would make it available. And it's unfortunate that that matter has not been closed as yet. But I hope that it can be rectified very, very early next week. Elizabeth? Gonzalez? The other Elizabeth?
I would ask you two questions at once. So, CAF Development Bank of Latin America and the Caribbean donated 250,000 US to help in the oil spill cleanup efforts. I understand that it was received by Trinidad and Tobago. What I want to find out is if the Minister of Finance has reached out to you. Are you aware of the money being donated, and does Tobago has access to the money? If yes, what are the plans on how you all are going to allocate this money in the disaster? And the second question, basically, it's relating to the passing of Mr. Dumas. Have you all considered, or are you all planning to honor him in any way? That's it. Thanks.
Thank you very much. With regards to your first question, I am aware of the 250,000 US dollars from CAF. I only became aware of it through the media, through the press release of CAF. But no one from the central government has had any conversation with me about this particular money specifically. And so I cannot speak to how the central government plans to use it, so to speak. There are agencies in this space currently that are supporting the Tobago House of Assembly. So on one hand, we have the Tobago House of Assembly who are working with some contractors. We have the Ministry of Energy also working with some contractors, and we have Heritage here also working with some contractors. I cannot say for certain how the Ministry of Finance will plan to use specifically the 250,000 US dollars. I know that conversation has not been had with me, at least certainly not as yet. With regards to your second question, we are all saddened by the loss of Mr. Dumas. Mr. Dumas is the former head of the public service here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has done diplomatic work for the country. He has done diplomatic work for United Nations. In fact, at one point, he was sent by United Nations to Haiti to do some work post the hurricane there. Sorry, post the earthquake there. And so we have lost certainly an eminent son of the soil. We have lost someone with quite a large repertoire of knowledge. When we got into office, sometime in 2022, Mr. Dumas was one of the first persons we brought in to work with the current executive, and that was in 2022. He did some of our training exercises early in the life of this government, and so certainly we extend sympathies and condolences to the family. More than that, we will reach out to the family, if that wasn't done already, to see how we can be of assistance to them during this time. And further announcements will be made later on. But this is an administration that is very much intent on honoring all of our local heroes as much as possible. As a matter of fact, by the time we get to the middle of this year, you will see quite a robust effort in honoring our local sons and daughters in very tangible ways. And so I'm certain Mr. Dumas will be one of those who will be considered for those efforts. All right, I wish to thank you all very much. Wish you all a very safe weekend. Please be safe this weekend. We will continue to have very good weather this weekend. So it's good weather for you to spend some time with your respective families. This is a good weekend to go to the beach, a good weekend, fathers, to hang out with your children. And it's also a good time for me to close, as I started, by acknowledging the strong women of Tobago who have done tremendously when it comes to the development of our society. We have our women, especially those in education, those in the public service. Most of our administrators are, in fact, women at present. When we look at our other senior public servants, a significant number of that are women. And so you continue to play a vital role in the functioning of the Tobago House of Assembly. And on a day like today, we recognize you, and that's why Mr. Mitchell and I are appropriately done in our purple. So today is a good day to wear, and an appropriate day to wear purple as well. So I'm not sure about the other days, but today is certainly an appropriate day to wear purple. So thank you, women, and thank you for the roles you play in our lives, and not just the professional women. We have to recognize all of the housewives out there. That's an important, very, very important role. The role of nurturing our children, training our children in the first social institution, that's the home. And so we recognize even you and your efforts on a day like today. We wish you Godspeed, and we wish everyone a safe and enjoyable weekend. God bless you.